Hello guys and welcome you all in the problem solving class of the course Applied Electromagnetics for Engineers. I am Vivek Kumar Srivastav, a PMRF Research Scholar of Antenna and Microwave Research Laboratory, Indian Institute of Technology, Roper, and TO of this course. So in this class we will see some of the numericals based on the topic waveguide. So let's start. So here is the problem 1, which states that a TE10 wave at 10 GHz propagate in a brass whose sigma is defined in the problem. Uh, a rectangular waveguide is given with inner dimension A is equals to 1.5 centimeter and B is equals to 0.6 centimeter, which is filled with a polyethylene whose dielectric constant is defined as 2.25 and mu r is equals to 1, and loss tangent is also given to us, that is 4 into 10 raised to the power minus 4. So by using this information we have to solve the upcoming question. So in this present question we have to solve for phase velocity. Okay, so phase velocity first of all is defined as the velocity at which the wave is propagating inside the waveguide. Okay, so as we know that phase velocity up is defined as omega, sorry, yeah, this is defined as omega over beta. Okay, so beta is basically the propagation constant inside the waveguide, so that I am defining as beta dash. Okay, so inside the waveguide the propagation constant is defined as omega over beta into root over 1 minus fc over f whole square. Okay, so this we can also write as u means velocity at which wave is propagating inside any media, divided by root over 1 minus fc over f whole square. Okay, so by using this formula we can determine the value of phase velocity by which wave is propagating inside the waveguide. So for that, uh, first of all we have to find out that what will be the cutoff frequency. Okay, so as we know that inside the waveguide cutoff frequency in general is defined as 1 over 2 pi root over mu epsilon into root over m pi by a square plus n pi by b square. So as mentioned in the problem that we have to find uh, the space velocity for TE10, means m here will be 1 and n will be 0. So we have to put this m and n value inside this expression. So the cutoff frequency that we will get is 1 over 2 pi root over mu epsilon into root over, this will be pi by a square. Okay, so once you solve this, so you will get this as u over 2a, where u is the velocity at which wave is propagating inside any media. Okay, so the same expression I am using here for calculating the cutoff frequency for TE10 mode. Okay, so here u is the velocity at which wave is propagating inside any media. Okay, so u will be defined as 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 divided by root over epsilon r. Okay, so u is defined as c over root over epsilon r. Okay, so by using this expression I am calculating the value of u first of all, and then I am putting this value of u for calculating the cutoff frequency. Okay, so once you calculate the cutoff frequency, because you can determine by using this expression, a is already given to us in the problem as such, like a is equals to 1.5 centimeter. So by directly putting this value here, you can determine that the cutoff frequency for TE10 mode will be 0.667 into 10 raised to the power 10 hertz. Okay, or you can say it will be 6.67 gigahertz. Okay, so once you know the cutoff frequency, so the wave phase velocity you can calculate as u over root over 1 minus fc over f square, which we have seen here. Okay, so u we can calculate by using this formula, that is c over root over epsilon r, and fc we have already calculated in the uh, previously. Okay, and f is already given to us, which will be equals to 10 gigahertz. Okay, so by using this we can calculate the phase velocity. So I hope that this problem is clear to you. So now moving ahead, so the next problem is to determine the guide wavelength. Okay, so inside the waveguide, uh, like once propagation happens, so corresponding to the cutoff frequency, what will be the guided wavelength that we have to determine. Okay, so guided wavelength, as we know that lambda, 1 minute, yeah, so lambda g we define as u p over f. Okay, so here up defines that at which velocity wave is propagating inside the waveguide. Okay, and f is the frequency which is given to us, like 10 gigahertz. Okay, so you can directly put the value of up that we have defined earlier. Okay, this will be equals to u over root over 1 minus fc over f square into f. Okay, so as we know that u over f is defined as lambda into 1 minus fc over f square. Okay, so by using this expression we can calculate the value of guided wavelength. Okay, so first of all we have to determine the value of lambda, because fc we have defined in the previous problem. We have already find out that what will be the value of fc. F is already given to us in the problem, that is 10 gigahertz. Okay, so by using this we can determine the value of lambda g. Okay, so let us first find out the value of lambda, which is equals to u over f. Okay, so u is defined as 3, u is defined as basically c over root over epsilon r. Okay, c, as we know that it is the velocity in the air media. Okay, and epsilon r is given to us in the problem, which is equals to 2.25. Okay, so by using this we can calculate the value of u. So I am directly putting the value of u here, and f is equals to f is given to us in the problem. So that I'm directly putting here. So first of all I am calculating the value of lambda. Okay, so once we know the value of lambda, so the guided wavelength can be calculated by using this expression. So lambda we have already calculated, fc is calculated already in the previous problem. Okay, f is already given to us. So by using this expression we can calculate the value of guided wavelength, which will be equals to uh, 26.8 mm. Okay, so let us now move ahead. So next we have to find out the wave impedance. So wave impedance is basically the impedance that is faced by the wave inside the waveguide. Okay, so this is defined as ZTE is equals to eta over root over 1 minus fc over f square, where eta is the intrinsic impedance of any media. Okay, so that we already know that it is defined as mu over epsilon, and For any media, it is defined as 377 over root over epsilon r. Okay, so epsilon r is given to us. Okay, and this is the intrinsic impedance of air media that is already given to us. Fc we have already calculated. F is given in the problem. So by using this, we can calculate the wave impedance. Okay, so that's how we can calculate. And the calculated value of wave impedance for this problem is 337.4 ohm. So let us now move ahead. So attenuation constant we have to calculate that occurs due to the loss in the guide wall. So let us suppose this is a rectangular waveguide. Okay, so these are the parameters of the waveguide. So this is A, this is B. Okay, so as we know that it is made up of hollow conductor. Okay, so due to the this conductor there are certain losses occur, like as we know that we are working at a high frequency in the gigahertz range. Okay, so due to the skin effect there will be some losses. Okay, due to that some attenuation will be takes place. Okay, so that we have to calculate in this problem. So attenuation constant, that we have already seen that how to calculate this attenuation constant in the lecture. So I'm using that formula here so as to calculate the attenuation constant. Okay, which is defined as alpha c is equals to rs into 1 plus 2b over a into fc over f square over eta b into root over 1 minus fc over f square. Okay, so here rs is the skin resistance. Rs is the skin resistance. Okay, which will be calculated as root over pi f mu naught over sigma. Okay, so frequency is given to us in the problem. Mu naught, the value of mu naught we already know that it is 4 pi into 10 raised to the power minus 7. Okay, and sigma is also given to us in the problem, like here sigma is given to us. Okay, so by using this we can calculate the value of uh, skin resistance first of all. And once we calculate the value of skin resistance, we have to put the value of rs here. A, b, f, c, f, eta, that we have already know. Okay, so by directly putting this value in this expression, we can calculate the value of attenuation constant. Okay, and the calculated value of attenuation constant for this problem will be 0.605 Nepar per meter. So I hope that this problem will be clear to you. So let us now move ahead. So the next problem is a standard air filled rectangular waveguide with a dimension that is given to you, that is A is equals to 8.636 and B is equals to 4.318 centimeter, is fed by a 3 gigahertz carrier from a coaxial cable. So now we have to define the group velocity for TE10 mode. Okay, so first of all we have to know that what is basically a group velocity. Okay, so like let us suppose that this is the waveguide. Okay, so as we know that inside the waveguide the propagation occurs above any cutoff frequency because it's a high pass filter. Okay, so above this cutoff frequency there are several other frequencies at that will propagate inside the waveguide. Okay, so due to the individual frequency we can calculate the value of phase velocity, but once the waveguide is working above any certain cutoff frequency, so due to that what will be the value of group velocity, means by at which velocity the all the uh, modes or say all the frequencies are propagating, that we have to calculate. So this we can calculate by using group velocity, which is defined as u dash square over up. Okay, where u dash is the velocity at which wave is propagating in any media. Okay, and up is defined as the velocity, phase velocity. Okay, so once you know these two parameters, you can easily calculate the value of group velocity. Okay, so first of all, uh, we have to see that what will be the value of u dash here. Okay, so as we know from the problem, it is defined that it is a air filled rectangular waveguide. So for air filled rectangular waveguide, the u dash will be equals to same as velocity of air media. Okay, velocity at which wave is propagating in air media, which will be equals to 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, and if suppose this will not be any this will not be air filled media, this will be any other media. If suppose it is defined in the problem, then u dash will be taken as c over root over epsilon r. But here, as air filled media is defined, so the value of epsilon r will be equal to 1. So this we can directly write u dash will be equal to c. So once you calculate the value of u dash, up you can calculate. Okay, that is the phase velocity. So as in the problem it is mentioned that we have to calculate it for TE10 mode. Okay, so for TE10 mode we have to first calculate the phase velocity. So phase velocity is defined as u dash over root over 1 minus fc over f square. Okay, means we have to calculate the value of cutoff frequency first of all. So as we know from our previous problem, that fc is defined as 1 over 2 pi root over mu epsilon into root over m pi by a square plus n pi by b square. Okay, so at as it is given in the problem that the value of m will be equals to 1 and the value of n will be equals to 0, so that we have to put. And once you put the value of m and n in this expression, you will find that the value of fc will be equals to u dash over 2a. Okay, so by using this expression we have to first calculate the value of fc. Okay, so u dash is equals to 3 into 10 raised to the power 8, and divided by 2 into a, which is given to you in the problem, that is 8.636 centimeter, that is 10 raised to the power minus 2, because we have to take the same unit. Okay, so that we can use so as to calculate the value of cutoff frequency. So the calculated value of cutoff frequency will be equals to 1.737 gigahertz. Okay, so once you calculate the value of cutoff frequency, you can easily calculate the value of phase velocity, which will be equals to u dash over root over 1 minus fc over f square. Okay, so you have to just put the value of u dash, fc and f. Okay, and the calculated value of phase velocity will be equals to 3.68 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, so once you calculate the value of phase velocity, you have to just plug this value of u dash and up in this expression of group velocity so as to calculate the value of group velocity. Okay, so the calculated value of group velocity will be equals to 2.446 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, so I hope that this problem will be clear to you. So let us now move ahead. So our next problem is an air filled 5 by 4 centimeter waveguide has EZ, means expression is given to you inside the waveguide. Okay, so Z component of electric field is given to you in this problem, and this is working at 15 gigahertz. So we have to find out that what will be the propagating mode of this waveguide. Okay, so first of all we have to see that which mode is propagating inside the waveguide. Okay, so as we know that there are only two type of mode is possible, that is either TE mode or TM mode. Okay, so TE mode is defined as the mode in which there will be no z component. If suppose wave is propagating along z, if suppose wave is propagating along z, okay, so there will not be any z component present inside the waveguide for the TE mode. Okay, means there will not be any electric field component along the direction of propagation. So this represents the TE mode. Whereas for TM mode, there will not be any component of magnetic field in the direction of propagation. So like here, H z component will be 0 if wave is propagating along z direction. Okay, so like here in the problem, the expression we can see that this represent that the wave is propagating along the z. Okay, because phase term will be equal to e raised to the power minus j beta z. So z represent basically that in which direction wave is propagating. So for this problem, wave is propagating along the z direction. Okay, and also in the problem it is given that this is the z component of electric field. It means that here z component of electric field is not 0. So this means that TE mode is not possible here. Only TM mode can take the value of EZS. Okay, means there may be a possibility that there is any component of jet field along the direction of propagation. So that's why TM mode is only possible here. So that we have find out till now. Okay, so not only we have to find out that only TM or TE mode, we have also find out that what is the mode basically, means what is the value of M, what is the value of N here. Okay, then only we can claim that this mode is propagating inside the waveguide. Okay, so for calculating the value of M and N, what I will do, I will basically compare this expression that is given to us in the problem with the standard expression that is given that we have find out in the course as well. Okay, so this is the standard expression. Okay, so by using we can compare these two expression so as to find out the value of M and N. Okay, so here we can see that wave is propagating along the z direction. Gamma is taken because this expression is for any in general media, whether it's a lossy or lossless. If because here in the problem it is given that it is for lossless media, so here alpha is 0 basically. Okay, so if alpha will be 0 in this expression, so this expression will be same as this one. Okay, means this expression we can use for lossless media as well. So now we will compare these two expression. So here we can see that M pi by A is equals to 20 pi. Okay, so means M by A is equals to 20 and N pi by B is equals to 50 pi. Okay, it means that N by B is equals to 50. Okay, so value of A and B that is given to us in the problem. So by using this we can calculate the value of M and N. Okay, so the calculated value of M and N is equals to 1 and 2. Okay, so once you calculate the value of M and N, so we can directly claim that the mode that is propagating inside the waveguide is TM12. Okay, so I hope that this problem will be clear to you. So let us now move ahead and see the next problem. So here in this problem it is mentioned that an air filled rectangular waveguide of dimension is given to us, that is A is equals to 4 centimeter and B is equals to 2 centimeter, transports energy in the dominant mode at a rate of 2 milliwatt. Okay, means uh, power that is propagating inside the waveguide is given to us So it is saying that if the frequency of operation is 10 gigahertz, determine the peak value of electric field in the waveguide. Okay, so first of all, see here in the problem, it is not mentioned that for which mode we have to calculate. So I am considering for TE, sorry, yeah. So I am considering here for TE mode. Okay, so the same you can calculate for TM mode as well. Okay, so like here in the problem, it is given that we have to calculate this for dominant mode. Okay, dominant mode we have to calculate. So for TE mode, the dominant mode will be equals to TE10. The dominant mode will not be equals to TE00 because for this mode there will be no field. Okay, so like here, if suppose you put the value of m and n 00, so you can see that uh, no electric field component will be present. Okay, because for TE mode, if wave is propagating along z, so z component of electric field is already 0 and only x and y component will be there. So if you put the value of m and n 00, so ex and ey will be 0 as well. So this means that for TE00 mode, there will not be any component of electric field as well as magnetic field present inside the waveguide. So that's why TE00 mode will not act as a dominant mode. So the minimum frequency which can propagate inside the waveguide will be same as TE10 mode. Okay, it means that the minimum mode that is propagating, or say dominant mode that is propagating inside the TE waveguide or waveguide is TE10 mode. Okay, so I am calculating here basically for TE10 mode. Okay, so m and n value we have find out that uh, for dominant mode the value of m will be equals to 1 and n will be equals to 0. So what we will do, we will use the standard expression of electric field. Okay, so that is all we already find out in the lecture or any standard book you can use. Okay, so the ex and ey component is defined as by using this expression, these two expression. Okay, so once you put the value of n0 here, so you can see that x component of electric field is already 0 once you put the value of n is equals to 0. Okay, but once you put the value of m is equals to 0, so there will be some uh, component of electric field along the y direction, means ey will exist here. Okay, so which is defined like this expression. Okay, so here I am considering the amplitude by this constant E naught, which is defined as omega mu a over pi into h naught. Okay, so that I have obtained by using this expression. Okay, so once I know the value of electric field, okay, for TE10 mode, so what we will do, we will calculate the average power. Okay, because average power is given to us in the problem, which will be equals to 2 milliwatt. Okay, so for that, for finding out the value of average power, what we will do, we will use this expression, that is equals to surface integral of mod of E square over eta into ds. Okay, so by using this expression we can find out the value of average power. Okay, so here only y component of electric field is present, so I am directly putting the value of amplitude of this EYS here. Okay, so once you put the value of this expression here, so this will be equals to E naught square AB over 4 eta. Okay, so like A and B is given to us, power P average is given to us in the problem, that is 2 milliwatt. Okay, E naught we have to calculate. The only thing that is remaining uh, here is eta, that is the uh, impedance basically, okay, intrinsic impedance of the media. Okay, so if suppose we are able to calculate the value of eta here, so we can easily calculate the value of E naught. So our next task is to calculate the value of eta. Okay, so for TE10 mode, as we know that from our previous problem, FC is defined as U dash over 2A. So this U dash will be same as C, because in the problem it is mentioned that this is, we have to calculate for air filled rectangular waveguide. Okay, so FC is FC we can calculate by using this expression. So once you calculate the value of FC, the value of wave impedance we can calculate as eta dash over root over 1 minus fc over f square. Okay, so by using this expression we can calculate the value of wave impedance uh, that we will put here in this expression so as to calculate the value of amplitude of electric field. Okay, so once you calculate, you will find the value of uh, amplitude of electric field is equal to 63.77 volt per meter. So I hope that this problem is clear to you. So now move ahead. The next problem is a rectangular waveguide with dimension that is given to us is equals to A is equals to 2.5 centimeter, B is equals to 1 centimeter, is to operate below 15.1 gigahertz. Means the maximum frequency that is given to us, that we have to operate basically, is 15.1 gigahertz. So in the question we have to find out that how many TE and TM mode can the waveguide transmit if the guide is filled with the medium characterized by sigma is equals to 0, epsilon is equals to 4 epsilon naught, mu r is equals to 1. Okay, so for this media we have to calculate that how many TE and TM mode can propagate inside the waveguide. Okay, and also we have to calculate the cutoff frequencies of the mode. Okay, so like for any waveguide, the cutoff frequency for MN mode is defined as U dash over 2 root over M by A square plus N by B square. So this expression is same as the previous expression, only the pi I am considering common here, and that I am that I cut from both numerator and denominator. So the final expression is this one. So in the problem the value of A and B is given to us. Okay, and we have to find out that what will be the that how many TE and TM mode that this waveguide can transmit, and the maximum operating frequency that is given to us will be equals to 15.1 gigahertz. Okay, so that we have to find out. So first of all, for solving this, what we have to do, we have to calculate the value of U dash. Okay, so here media is given to us. Okay, for that epsilon will be equals to 4 epsilon naught and mu r is equals to 1. So corresponding to this media, what will be the value of uh, phase velocity, or say velocity inside the media will be equals to u dash is equals to c over root over mu r into epsilon r. So once you put the value of epsilon r is equals to 4 here and mu r is equals to 1, so the value of u dash will be equals to c by 2. So you have to put the value of u dash is equals to c by 2 here in this expression, and a and b you have to put. Okay, so once you put this value, the calculated value of cutoff frequency for MN mode is defined as 3 root over m square plus 6.25 n square into gigahertz. Okay, so that you can calculate. Okay, so now only thing remaining is to determine the value of m and n such that the maximum frequency that is given to us, it will not exceed. Okay, means all the frequencies which are below the 15.1 gigahertz, that will propagate inside this media. Okay, so for calculating that, what I will do, I will first make n constant, or say m constant, and then I will vary the value of n. So like here I am calculating for m is equals to 0 and n is equals to 1. It means that I am calculating for TE10 mode. Okay, so for TE10 mode, once you calculate the value of cutoff frequency, so the calculated value of cutoff frequency will be equals to 7.5 gigahertz. So this I am basically what I am doing, I am directly putting the value of M0 and N1 here. Okay, by using this expression. So once you plug the value of M and N in the expression, you will find out that for TE10 mode, the cutoff frequency will be equals to 7.5 gigahertz. Okay, so okay, so this frequency is basically below the 15.1 gigahertz, so this mode will propagate. Okay, so now I will test for TE02 mode. Okay, so here for that I will plug m is equals to 0 and n is equals to 2 in the expression, and for that I will find out that the cutoff frequency will be equals to 15 gigahertz. Okay, which is also less than 15.1 gigahertz. It means that this mode will also propagate. Okay, so it means that TE01 and TE02 mode will propagate inside the waveguide. So now I will also check for TE03 mode. So once you plug the value of M0 and N3 in the expression, so you will find out that the calculated value of cutoff frequency will be equal to 22.5 gigahertz, which is above the 15.1 gigahertz, means this mode will not propagate. Okay, so now from this we have find out that only TE01 mode and TE02 mode will propagate. Above that, no mode will propagate. Now what I will do next, I will now put the value of n constant, and then I will vary the value of m until the frequency reaches to 15.1 gigahertz. Okay, so that I was that I am going to do here. So for TE10 mode, the calculated value of cutoff frequency will be 3 gigahertz. Then I will do the same for TE20 mode, TE30 mode, TE40 mode, TE50 mode. So up to this mode, we can see that the calculated value of cutoff frequencies will be less than 15.1 gigahertz. Means these modes will propagate. Okay. Now, once we go ahead and calculate this for TE60 mode, so we can see that the calculated value of cutoff frequency will exceed the 15.1 gigahertz. So this means that this mode will not propagate. Okay, so it means that TE10, TE20, TE30, 40 and 50 will also propagate. Okay, so similarly, we can calculate for other mode as well, like TE11, TM11, okay, TE21, TM21. Okay, so that's how we can calculate the other mode as well. Okay, so once you plug the value of M and N as 1 and 1, so the calculated value of cutoff frequency will be equal to 8.078 gigahertz. Okay, similarly you can plug the value of m and n as 2 and 1. Okay, so this will give the calculated value of cutoff frequency as 9.6 gigahertz. Similarly, we can calculate for TE31 and 41 as well. So up to this mode, the calculated value of cutoff frequency will be less than 15.1 gigahertz. But if we will go beyond that, so the calculated value of cutoff frequency will exceed 15.1 gigahertz. It means that these modes will not propagate. Okay, so that's how you can calculate the other mode as well. Okay, so once you calculate, so finally you will find out that total 11 TE mode and 4 TM mode will be there that can propagate inside this waveguide. So I hope that this problem will be clear to you. Okay, so this was the last problem. Thank you all.